and welcome to Tarmac. I'm Dave.
I'm Matthew, and I apologize for this in advance, but today we're headed off to Brazil with the Kia Carnival.
That's right, it's Kia's new, highly refreshed, highly new and modern 4th generation Carnival multivan. Come on, let's take a look at this one. Originally launched around the turn of the century, the Kia Carnival has proved very, very popular for those into the sort of multivan, big family, big usage of vehicle type of thing. And this one, now in its 4th generation, has been revamped, refurbished, lengthened, and just made just so much better looking. It's also very, very safe. I'll show you that in a minute. But look at this, straight up front you can see the tiger nose, making it just completely part of that new design language from Kia. Nice big Kia badge here. The headlights and DRLs are amazing. It's got this sort of, I don't know, lightning bolt sort of look around here, and also headlights here and here. It's quite dramatic. I'll see if I can show you that at night around about now. Looking further forward, you've also got fog lights down here, a nice lower spoiler down here, which is actually chromed out. Personally, I think it's possibly a little bit low for when you've got all the team and everybody on side, but you know, look at it. It's very, very, just quite massive, expansive, and just quite a good looking. And also, when you got it in this, they're calling this a ceramic grey colour, so really nice from there. Most other brands would be calling it a Nardo grey, but we won't go into that. And also contrasted with lots of black accents all over the place and chrome, so lots of black, chrome and grey. You know, you can't go wrong. Round the side, not only can you start the Carnival using the remote and also open the doors using the remote, but also if you get really close to it, it opens automatically. And also the doors, if you wait 3 seconds, will open too. It's pretty cool. There's a lot going on, especially if you're holding some stuff to really carry it in, or got the kids, or you know, whatever else you've got. For this 4th generation, the length is actually 40mm longer, and also the wheelbase is 30mm longer, and that equates to a lot more space inside, which we'll show you in a minute. Well, actually Matthew will show you in a minute. But looking around the rest of it, like I said, the contrast side of things, having the black, look at these nice black 19-inch wheels, brilliant contrast to this ceramic grey, not Nardo, ceramic grey. Also nice contrast here on the mirrors here, and also looking as you go further down, look at this. It's a lovely, they're calling it a fin, and it's got this diamond pattern to it. Really makes this tail end stand out, particularly with this privacy glass. Very cool. Round the rear, just like the front, the rear has had a lot of work done too. It's got a roofline spoiler. This whole light bar, look, it goes across the whole width, really broadens out the tail end here. There's also nice, plenty of chrome down the bottom here, and also the good old Kia badge, and the Carnival was written out nicely. And it's also got this party trick of waiting 3 seconds if you've got some stuff, and the power to surprise of hey, Matthew's sitting in the back, so quite a deep space, and loads of space here. And when you drop these seats, well, once you get Matthew out of the way, you can drop these seats down and give yourself 2,750 litres of boot space. So with all seats down, it's massive. You can load everything in here. Let's take a look under the bonnet. Under the bonnet here is a 2.2 litre diesel SmartStream turbocharged engine that gives you 148 kilowatts of power, 440 newton meters of torque. It's got a fuel efficiency of 6.5 litres per 100 kilometres, and it's all married to an 8-speed auto box that's drive-by-wire. Speaking of auto boxes, or auto bots, Matthew's inside and he'll talk you through what's going on in there.
Even though I maybe a bit robotic in all the features I know about cars, the Kia Carnival certainly is one that pleases those fancies of mine, because there's just so much going on here with this interior. So firstly, let's talk about the materials. At the top you have this soft sort of plastic going on, which moves around with the contours of the dashboard. You also have this big semi-arch sort of thing in gloss plastic going on here. Continuing with the gloss plastic theme, there's a lot of stuff wrapping around the central touchscreen and the dashboard here. You get some soft materials over here, this lovely sort of diamond metallic pattern almost that's reflecting the design elements of the exterior. And then below that, just to break up those darker colors, you have some beigeish plastic right there. And then in the middle, you've got some sort of chrome outline, more piano black plastic. And I mean, the amount of stuff that's going on in here is just amazing. It's, you know, I just love it. So let's talk about phones. Everybody has one these days, and Kia certainly knows that, because there's space for your phone there, there's space for your phone there, and there's space for your phone here. And this one even has a wireless charging pad. So they've certainly thought of everything you really need. And for your 3 phones, there's of course 3 USB charging ports over there. So we've really put a lot of thought into this. You also get some touch capacitive buttons down there for your air conditioning. It also has shortcuts for your front and rear window heating. For your seat heating, it has shortcut buttons down here. It even has steering wheel heaters, the buttons over here. And then of course you have these touch capacitive shortcut buttons that give you access to Kia's infotainment screen, which we'll get to in just a minute. First, while we're on the seats, they have this amazing sort of diamondish pattern going through it, which again reflective of that styling feature they have going on here. Down the middle you have another leather covered armrest there with plenty of storage underneath. It's a family car, so all these nifty storage bins here and there are all going to be used somehow. Coffee cups, of course, on long road trips you need those, so there's 2 over here, and plenty of space for 2, frankly, in the doors as well. So, you know, everybody can have a coffee, though you probably want to keep them away from your kids. Speaking of other things you should probably keep away from the kids, you got the infotainment screen there, so let's jump into that. It's Kia's new system, which we love, of course. On the main screen here, you've got the basic things like the time and the menu you're currently using, just like the map in the background. And then when you swipe through, you get all the menus here lit in this cool sort of purple neon color. Of course, you get Kia's quirky sounds of nature with all the stuff you want, like a noisy cafe and waves and water and all that. You can get direct access to the climate control for the rear passengers here. You also get, of course, Kia's cool feature, which is passenger talk, where you can use your serious voice to probably tell off your kids in the back row if they're being a bit too noisy. You also get quiet mode, which is really cool for adults who, you know, like their music, but if their kids are asleep in the back, they can turn on quiet mode, and it only runs the speakers in the front part of the car. So that's a really nice feature. You also get the ability to put voice memos, you know, if you're thinking of dialogues for your YouTube car review on your drives. And of course you have the manual, which nobody reads, and the other information of the car, which if you're a robotic nerd like me, you will probably read. Anyway, that's all the features with the infotainment screen. But what about that dashboard right there? Now, this gauge cluster is a mix of both analog and digital. So you get the analog dials, the rev counter, and the speedometer. And then down the middle, you get a digital screen which tells you all the vital stuff, like which doors are open in your car, the current speed limit. And if you press this button on the right side, you can see a digital speedometer, you can see your fuel consumption information and how long you've been driving for, all that sort of cool stuff. Now, the gloss black plastic around here continues onto the steering wheel, where your wiper stalk and your indicator stalk are both covered in a really nice gloss plastic and actually feel really good to touch, really well damped. You do get chrome paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, another cool touch there. And the steering wheel, of course, is wrapped in a nice leather. The right side shortcuts buttons to that digital screen in the front, and then the left side shortcuts the infotainment screen. So they've thought of everything you need within arm's reach, or within finger's reach if you like. Speaking of things that are within arm's reach, let's jump into the middle row of seats and see what life's like over there. So once you're in the middle row here, you'll notice there are a lot of things that are within arm's reach, and some things that are within arm's reach for children, which you probably don't want, like this button here that moves the front seat forwards and backwards. That's probably something to keep away from your children. but it also has a USB charging port for your phone here and there, so two. There's plenty going on with the doors here, not just the automatic movement. You get a shortcut button down there to open and shut the door. You get a button there that turns on the heated seats. There's again 3 different levels for the heated seats in the middle row. How cool is that? You also get these sunshades over here for hot sunny days, pretty nice. And if you look up on the roof, there's obviously your reading lights, but there's also individual climate control for the middle seats, so that's another cool touch there. If you thought with those things that Kia have thought of everything to do with the back here, then you're wrong, because let me just show you the amount of different configurations you can have with these seats. This middle row, you can slide it backwards and forwards, so all the way forwards or all the way back. It still goes further than that. Staying with the middle seat here, you can actually pull this little tab over here to drop it, and you get a nice big armrest here with 2 cup holders and 2 phone spaces as well. I'm not sure how many phones the average Kia customer has, but it seems to be quite a lot. Anyway, if you want to get this out of the way, you can just by pulling the handle down here, and you can get it out of the way there. So it actually can even go further back than that. Then moving on to this captain's chair. Now you can get the armrest up there. You can again move it backwards and forwards with the lever here, or as you can see with the lever on that side, you can drop it down completely and have sort of a flat loading bay, which of course makes it really easy to get into the 3rd row of seats. Now once you're comfortably in the back here, you'll notice that there's actually seat belt points for 3 people, though I'm not sure if you could fit a child in the middle, at least not most of the child, probably half of them. I'm not allowed to say that, I guess. Headroom here, actually you can see there's plenty for a person just under 6 feet like me. Knee room as well. This seat is pretty much as far back as it can go, and I've still got a bit more room to go. Same story with the foot room. I've got plenty to play with there. So, you know, it's, as you can see, all that difference they've made in lengthening the wheelbase and the car has really translated into space on the inside. But of course, this is a minivan and a transformed one. So let's take a look at what changes there are in the drive.
Admittedly, I'm probably being really uncharitable here, but if you've got a minivan, on the whole, your life is over. You know, it's the sort of soul destroying, you've got too many kids or you've got too many things going on with other people, and you end up buying a minivan and, I don't know, trudging through life forever. I don't know. That's my understanding of a minivan, but this Carnival has completely turned that on its head. This place is a party, man. It's an 8-seater party. It's so much fun.
It's definitely got a few party tricks up its sleeve, if you like, and in that respect, what Dave was talking about looking like a traditional minivan, this doesn't look anything at all like that. I mean, look at the big black wheels or the metallic paneling on the back, or, you know, it's futuristic spaceship like styling, if you like. You know, all those things are completely different and challenge what we know about minivans.
Yeah, it's also lower in height and also in ground clearance and stuff like that. So it actually looks a lot sleeker than I was ever expecting, and it really does turn this, like I said, it turns this MPV life's over thought process of mine on its head. The space, though, the extra 40 millimeters and 30 millimeters inside really does make the difference. And there's no sort of transmission tunnels, so your feet space is loads, and so much space to put everything and everyone in the back. It's like I said, I'm quite excited about it.
I mean, as you saw earlier with Dave, that you can actually fit me in the boot, and that's with all 3 rows of seats up. So just, you know, moving the car by about that much has made a world of difference in here. And you look at the amount of space we have between me and Dave, the amount of space that's between us and the passengers in the middle, it's just crazy. This thing is like a spaceship, as I said before, but not because, you know, it could literally go into space. It's because of the amount of space in here.
I really like the idea of you being right in the back. Anyway, position wise, very easy to drive, very spacious. Luxury wise, there's leather steering wheels, leather seats, heated, ventilated, heated steering wheel. There's so much room, so much luxury. The Bose stereo, there's this really funky looking area on the door panel that lights up at night or in the dark. Like I said, there's so much going on with this stuff, and we've only scratched the surface, and we've probably done so much already. The seat configuration, it's endless. It really is endless.
And of course, not to forget all the cool features of, the infotainment screen, like you can talk to the passengers specifically at the back or only play music for the front. It's I guess a testament to Kia in recent times, because they have really upped their game tenfold. I mean, not just design wise, but also the thought that goes into their cars, all these features. It's things you never thought of, but probably you could never imagine your life without going forward.
Safety features, tons of them. Obviously lane keep assist, it's got blind spot assist, it beeps when it should and keeps you in the lanes when it should. There's a ton going on to keep you and your family and your extended family, or an extended family, all safe and all happy. And there's so many USB ports. I could charge up half of Auckland stuff around here. It's great. The drive itself, look, we haven't really pushed it, and I don't really want to push it. If there is a sports mode, and I don't know, I think it's kind of a little bit pointless, but there is a smart mode, and there is economy, there's all that sort of stuff to make sure that you're driving well and your drive modes are good.
So it does have, in I guess typical modern Kia fashion, a few of those quirks about it. Like certainly the sport mode, it's being a little bit humorous, but it's because once you've dropped the kids off, you can flick it into sports mode and go for a bit of a blast and use that turbo power of the diesel, because it certainly can pull really hard.
Yeah, it is very torquey. I mean, 440 newton meters is actually plenty. You can probably tow stuff if you tow the caravan and put more kids in the back. I don't know. This is for lots of people, and it is a people mover, but it just doesn't feel like a normal regular people mover. It feels like I'm surprised they haven't called it an SUV or a moving people SUV or something. I don't know.
And I think that's something that's always been a strength of the Kia Carnival in particular, is its ability to fit in so many things, but also at the same time drive like a car. It doesn't, you don't feel removed from the road, and you don't feel like you're driving something that's actually this big. So definitely it's got the power to surprise you.
I just saw what you did there. So there you have it. Kia's new multi-purpose multivan. That's a lot of multi. Anyway, there is so much going on, and it really does feel like actually it drives like a car, and I hate saying that. It drives nicely, but it's just got so much going on. It's a ton of fun. Even goes through puddles, and that's great fun.
Kia, you should be proud, because Dave doesn't give out compliments as easily as he's just done. So obviously this Carnival is doing something right.
Certainly not for a multivan. Maybe my life is over. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. It will be around here somewhere, and see you on the next one.